I'm Darren.
I'm Derek.
And this is the W Podcast live at Battle on the Border. Woo! You guys get an update on this event here after this. Alright guys, we're back in our studio obviously because we can't film the entire podcast live.
Hey, turn the AC off.
Let me turn this off.
What are we doing here?
I was just getting ready to turn around. You can watch back the footage.
I heard it in the things and I was like, yeah, that's loud.
That's okay.
Well, we're back.
Anyways, we're back.
You know where else it was loud at?
Battle on the Border.
Warzone Mayhem. Battle on the Border on July 23rd.
Yeah.
When it was. That
2022.
Yeah. It was loud then too. So this is the podcast
crowd.
where we get to review the show that finally happened. We're a little later on it than we planned on.
But that's okay.
Life happens. So
hey,
jump off of it.
Professionals aren't always on time.
There you go. You heard it there first. Professionals aren't always professional. Although I will say that I think waiting later was probably a good idea, which we can talk about maybe in a future episode.
Yeah, future episodes.
But I feel like, you guys seen the intro. You guys heard the crowd there. It was loud. The ring was, I think you did it mid-match. You were just like, hey, let's do an intro real quick.
I did it in between the announcer saying something and
in the match, right.
Right in between it. Because that's why I was only like fucking 5-6 seconds.
Hey, they got the point through,
Yeah.
And hey, as far as doing a live podcast, hey.
Could be a possibility.
Maybe in the future, I'm down for anything. But anyway, thank you for the fans that showed up to Battle on the Border in Morris Hill. It was a really great time. I had a great time. This is your second show, right?
Yes, it was a very fantastic show too.
Would you say this is better than the first one you went to?
Oh, yeah.
That's always the goal, is to make sure you get better.
It's also more fun considering that, we're a sponsor of the show now and you got more backdrop on the Battle on the Border as a whole. It's kind of easier to get more entertained with it.
Yeah, and the interviews do help. We learned a lot about the whole organization just based off these interviews.
Yeah, we wouldn't probably hardly know shit if it wasn't for them interviews.
Well, we all know, yeah, exactly. For those of you that did not show up to the show, do we have our sign somewhere close?
Yeah, it's right over here.
Let's get that sign out and show everybody, because just in case you didn't show up and you didn't see what the sign actually looks like. We'll,
I kind of ironed the sun gun, but
it looked better than this. Yeah, I kind of just folded it up, but it'll look better.
And when we hang it, it'd be tight, so you'll be able to see it better.
Look at that.
That's what you guys are gonna be looking for in Battle on the Border events if you want to come to our table.
Yeah, we're gonna have to hang that up behind us, I think.
Yeah, I was going to for this one, but then I got lazy.
Imagine that. It's very long though. It's a very long sign. You can't miss it.
It's pretty massive.
And you see our goofy looking asses sitting there right in front of it, and you know who you're looking for.
Since they gave such a good job, Pro Prince and Batesville made that sign.
There you go.
I'm gonna give them a shout out because they did a fantastic job on that, and we have Double D Podcast shirts, so you'll be able to find us that way.
Yeah, just look for the guys in the shirts. We plan on possibly in the future releasing a little bit of merch.
Yeah,
we talked about that in the past.
Yeah, but this is coming more likely than than the past.
Before it was just like, hey, we'll find a way to make shirts. Now it's like, hey, we're pretty close.
It's possible. We're in the workings of something.
So before we start talking about the whole show as a whole, let's just go to the suggestion box.
Yes.
Because as you guys know, we do have a suggestion box that we bring to us on live events, and when you DJ, we always bring it along with you. Yep. So we actually have some suggestions this time, which is really nice. We have 3 of them. I thought we only had 2.
Yes.
I don't know what the third one is, but we will find out. So one of these came from... 2 of these, came from one person. I apologize. I do not remember your name. We met a decent amount of people there, so it's kind of hard to remember everybody's name. But this one says greatest of hardcore wrestlers. So this would be, he explained it to us as a video where we talk about a single wrestler for the whole video. That would require research and a little bit more trying than we've done before.
Well, since we've had that specific one, when he explained it to us at the table, I actually dug into it a little bit. So I got a slight idea how I'd approach that video. So.
Right. I feel like if we have absolutely no idea what we're going to talk about in the week next,
Yeah.
Like I'll pick a wrestler that's known for hardcore wrestling. You pick a wrestler that's known for hardcore wrestling, and we'll just bounce back and forth.
Yeah.
And then we'll go through basically what he said was the life of. So from like birth till death or whatever they're doing now.
Yeah.
And we'll talk about their whole life, go through their whole career. Of course, add our own spin on it, our own comedic spin along.
Yeah, got to.
You know, try to make it entertaining. Not where it's like a book report where we're just sitting there like, and then Mick Foley went to WWE. We're not going to do that, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, no, we ain't going to be boring.
So this will be done. It may be a while until we do it, but it will be done, I promise you.
Yeah,
and we'll keep it in here in order to
fit it in.
remember, and we'll probably end up rereading it multiple times just to remind ourselves.
Probably. And then we have the life of the hardcore wrestlers.
So you know what happened is...
We got a double question.
No. We did not get a double question. So what happened is when he gave us 2, this is greatest of hardcore.
Oh.
So this is the top 10 list. So you talk about the top 10 list.
The
I
top
bet. So
10 list. Okay.
So we do. So there is a life of hardcores, and there is a top 10 list. I didn't read the other one, so I didn't know. I wrote it. I don't know why I thought.
No, I didn't think I wrote that one.
You did, yeah. The one you have now, yeah.
So the great, yeah, because I didn't spell a core. I didn't have time to write cores before the match was going to
Sorry,
start.
that was my bad. That was a miscue between us. I don't know. I got ahead of myself. You go.
Anyway, the greatest of hardcores, where we would do like a top 10 of the best hardcore wrestlers in everything.
Explain it. I feel like my dad could probably chime in on that. We'd probably have him in on that one too.
Oh, for sure.
And that one also could possibly be done after that one.
And also, this could also be professional or like indie professional wrestlers or any wrestlers.
Yeah, from old new,
Yes.
you know, live.
Old, new.
Like I said, the hardcore wrestling
Future.
scene has been around forever. There's Japanese wrestlers that are known for hardcore wrestling that we don't know. Back in the territory days, there were hardcore wrestlers that I'm not 100% known. You know, I don't know a lot about. So I have to do a lot of digging in order to do a proper top 10 list.
Yes.
Have to do some actual, like I said, research and digging on that.
And what we'll probably do is, I would assume we'll have each individual top 10 lists, or we're just going to do one big Double D podcast top 10. That's going to take a lot of talking to do.
Yeah, we'll do individual ones, and then when Dad comes in, he can do his own individual top 10, and then we'll just compare. Kind of like we did with the rock bands, where we did the top 5 rock bands. This time we'll open it to top 10.
Yes.
Just to make it a little bit more interesting. And we'll just go around and explain why they're there, or why they should be on the list or not on the list, whatever.
What our favorite thing is about each wrestler that we pick, and so on and so forth.
Right.
So this one would be fun. This one would be easy one.
That's the easier
That one, not so much.
Well, no, this one is the hard.
Yeah, that one.
This
not
one
so
is the
much.
one that I don't know who wrote.
Oh,
I knew for sure that we had 2. I knew for sure that we had 2 suggestions because it came from the same person. He told us. We wrote it down. We put it in there.
yes.
And even though we got mixed up here,
We still wrote it down and put it in.
we
there.
wrote it down and put it in there, and then we'll be done. This one again. All of these will be done in the future.
Yes.
Not maybe in like the next week or so. Maybe.
Maybe
Honestly, I
it's
don't know.
hard telling.
But this one I have no idea who wrote, so I apologize for not knowing who wrote this one. If you did write it, claim yourself in the
Comment
comments.
below or email us. You'll get that later.
Because I do not know who wrote this, and I would like to give credit where credit's due. Also, if
Yes.
you did those 2 questions, make sure you claim it as well, because I, again, apologize. I do not remember who wrote it.
We need to start having you just write your name if you want to be name featured
Yeah.
on the
I don't know
podcast.
if they do or not. That's another thing.
Because
too.
it can be anonymous, and if they just want to stay anonymous, then
Right, and when we had the suggestion box, I kind of figured that people would just come up and write it out and fill it out and then move on. Because if we're busy,
yeah, we
they're
don't
not gonna
have
wanna
time
get
to
it.
talk to each.
Like
other.
this one.
Yeah,
So if you want
yeah. It was probably when we were talking to the other guy. Another person came in and slipped that in there real quick.
legitimately, really, because I was at the table pretty much the whole show. I have no idea how I missed this, but I did, so I apologize.
I think I only left once to use the bathroom. That's it.
Yeah.
Well, no, and
You did some.
yeah, I did field work too.
What do they call that when you go out and you meet people and talk about your business?
I don't know. Advertisement.
Anyway, this is a 3-part question. We'll both answer it.
Mm-hmm.
The first one is favorite wrestlers all time, any affiliation.
Now we can do that one right now.
Yeah, this is what we're doing right now. So do you have an answer for that one? Your favorite wrestler of all time, any affiliation?
Yeah, it's gonna seem like I'm a kiss ass, but yeah.
Oh, I can't wait to hear it.
Lux.
Of course. well, we'll talk about that later.
Here's my favorite.
My favorite. I don't know if I have one of all time.
I've also got other favorites, but
I don't know. I don't know if I have. I would say probably growing up for me, I would probably say AJ Styles was one.
yeah, you never shut up about him when we were a kid.
Yeah, I like AJ Styles a lot. I grew up watching Impact Wrestling, and then so him since I grew up watching both, I'd say him, And then Jeff Hardy, obviously, from WWE, would
That's-
probably be tied for my top 2.
Jeff and Matt would be tied to my top 3 with hooks.
Yeah, because I mean, just they also influenced the whole generation. Jeff Hardy more than Matt, both of them.
That and they fucking
Yeah, they do a lot of the high fly
Fly
stuff,
to the
which I
moon.
like. AJ Styles does the high fly stuff, which I like. And like I said, I grew up watching Impact Wrestling. He was always the face of Impact Wrestling, so
he was the pretty boy.
he was the guy. He was the main guy. Everybody, when he left, it was a big deal. And then, like I said, Hardys, they a whole generation of people are influenced by them. The Young Bucks right now, who are one of the best tag teams in the world, and they wrestle in AEW. That's their main, influence growing up. They're just an influential group of people. I think most people our age, especially, will put the Hardys up at the top.
The Hardys are both in AEW right now, aren't they?
Yeah, and then AJ Styles is in WWE right now.
Oh, he's in WWE?
Yes.
I don't figure he'd be retired by now.
I don't think it's going to be much longer, his career. I
So
think he's like, 46?
Seems like he'd be old.
40, probably like 40, late 40s. So he doesn't have too
That's
much
not
longer.
bad then.
I mean, it depends on how long their career goes. He's been kind of healthy for his career, at least to my knowledge. But I also can't keep up with all the injuries. Wrestling has so many of them.
Well, you got so many wrestlers that are getting injured.
Oh, dude, I tell you, it gets even worse. AEW, I have a whole list of wrestlers that I had to learn because of them coming into AEW. And then I try to keep up as much as possible with WWE, so that's a whole different list of wrestlers. Then we have Battle on the Border, which is a whole different list of wrestlers. I have so many wrestlers going through the brain that I get confused most of the time on who's who, where, who goes where, and I don't remember.
You're okay, AEW wrestlers mixed up with Battle on the Border.
Yeah, I can't wait till FTR shows up. It's hard to, I have so many fucking wrestlers going through my head, it's hard to keep up with them.
Yeah.
But that's also...
Well, you've been in the wrestling scene for a long time. I've only been in for about a year.
Yeah, I've been watching since
Kind
I
of
was
into wrestling.
6. I'm 22 now, so that's 16 years of wrestling.
See, I wasn't allowed to watch wrestling.
That's the crazy. Now we're a sponsor.
Yeah, now we're a sponsor, and my mom doesn't hate it. So
I will say this. I will say that as of this moment in 2022, I would say this is probably the best pro wrestling has been as a whole, my whole life at least, that I can remember. I mean, maybe if you consider Impact Wrestling, like if they were a real competitor, if you could, even I watched them and I still didn't really consider them a legit competitor to WWE. You have AEW was really popular.
It's be hard getting competitors to WWE.
Yeah, and then right now, independent wrestling is so hot right now. There's fucking businesses popping up everywhere. Of course, you have Battle on the Border. Cincy Wrestling is really popular, and then you have Versailles has an indie show that comes through a lot. I mean, there's just indie wrestling, and for being out here, for us in the middle of nowhere, and we have. I mean, I'm not even going to mention all the names that I see on Facebook of different people going different places. I mean, there's at least double digits indie wrestling, and that's around this area alone. Imagine if you go to Chicago or New York or California or Florida. There's Tennessee's big in wrestling, or Texas. There's so many wrestling organizations out there right now.
Yeah, there's a shit ton.
But the good thing is that there's a lot of wrestlers, so it all works out.
Yes. And I don't know if it helps that we follow everything wrestling on Facebook, so.
Becoming
everything pops up on. I get wrestlers I don't even know come up, hey friends you should know, or you might know. I don't know who the hell that is.
Yeah,
I never met him. Never met him before.
Yeah, same. There's so many right now. Number 2, this is a 3-part question. Number 2, favorite BOTB wrestler. Yours is already answered.
Hooks.
I said it. I think I've said this before. I think on past episodes. I think. My favorite overall is Sergeant Ledbetter, probably. I know my dad, I can speak for him, Carson Drake.
Yeah,
I can speak for Sophia, she's in love with Brian Pillman.
Brian Pillman.
But mine is Sergeant Ledbetter. Love to have him on the podcast. He can come on whenever,
Man, we got an empty spot right here.
There's an empty, you guys can't see it. Well, you kind of can see it, I guess, huh?
We ain't got a throne, but it's an empty spot.
Well, if King Bomani came in, then we'd have to purchase a throne.
He purchased me a throne for being in my presence. In my lair.
All right. You said it, not me. Number 3. Which wrestlers would you most like to see in Battle on the Border? I'll be honest with you. That's kind of a difficult question for me to answer, at least fairly, because I'm new to the indie wrestling scene. So I can't answer this without naming big name stars. So I'm kind of out on this one. Although
Jeff Hardy.
Although, like I said, I know, I think in Cincinnati, I've seen there's a guy named JTG who now wrestles at Cincy Wrestling. It would be cool to see him there. I think James Storm has wrestled there. Ace Austin is a guy who is in Cincinnati. I'd like to see him. These are just the big names because I don't have
heard a single one of them.
Jordan Clearwater is someone that my girlfriend knows, and I'd like to see him because it would be cool. I don't know him, but it would be cool for her. I think.
Either, so.
Like I said, I don't know any other indie wrestlers. There's a couple other names that I've heard of, but I haven't seen personally.
Isn't there somebody in our area that's going into professional wrestling?
Mason Paris is going to WWE.
Oh. How in the hell is he going straight to the WWE?
Well, he was a wrestler in Michigan. Right?
Yeah.
That's the guy I'm thinking of.
Yeah,
right?
I think he went to
Or
Michigan.
am I getting the names wrong?
No, Mason Paris went to college for wrestling.
Okay, he went to Michigan, and then afterwards, he was nationally ranked, one of the best wrestlers, collegiate wrestlers. The WWE loves taking athletes. They took a bunch of college athletes who were like basketball players, football players, obviously wrestlers. They took baseball players. Like they were taking a bunch of athletes from college, and he was one of them that got taken. He hasn't shown up, to my knowledge, on TV. Maybe he didn't make it, but he was signed to like a developmental deal.
I said they're probably training him.
To train him,
it takes
so
a while. I'm sure it takes a couple years to get trained.
I'm sure it does. So
especially with the crazy shit that WWE does.
I was gonna say I'm not a fan of WWE personally, but if he shows up there, I'll be his biggest supporter. I hate Michigan. I'm an Ohio State fan, and I was rooting for him. I followed Michigan wrestling on Twitter and Facebook just to make sure he was keeping doing good.
Don't worry, guys. I'm Ohio. I ain't never gonna follow Michigan.
I felt bad, dude. He's local.
Ohio State all the way.
He didn't even go to our high school, but I just felt like because he's local, it's cool to see someone make it out from where we are into a big stage, especially in something as niche as wrestling is really cool.
If my brother went to football in Michigan, I wouldn't be at a single game.
Wow. Well, there you go, Patrick.
I hate Michigan that damn bad.
Patrick, if you're watching this, your brother only loves you conditionally. I don't understand it personally, but it is.
Yeah, terms and conditions are on there for a reason. Read the fine print.
Did he sign a contract? Or?
I don't know what the hell we signed when we're born, but it's something, I'm sure.
Well, anyway, we got these two in here. We will, like I said, probably end up rereading them quite a bit.
Yeah, I'll reread them right now.
Just to remind ourselves, but they will be done at some point in the future. Before, I would say within the next couple of weeks.
I'd say in the next week or two.
Probably. No one knows who knows when it'll get done, and then we do it next week.
That's hard to tell them.
All right.
We give our secrets away anyway, so you'll never know.
That's right. Yeah, well, you don't know how we do this. It's basically just we text each other and like, hey, we should talk about this.
Well, before we lived together, so it was like...
Well, that's true too. That is true. Now we don't live together. It's a little different. We might as well start off from the beginning of the day.
Very first time we left this house.
So the time we left this house, we had Big Daddy Woo Woo with us. If you guys followed the podcast long enough, you know who Big Daddy Woo Woo is.
If not, we'll have him back on. He's our new manager.
He should. Well,
our agent. He's our agent.
Well, we'll talk about that later. Well, remind me to bring that up.
When we get to the end of the podcast.
Yeah. But we left here. We thought we had everything. We had to turn around because we forgot a table. Kind of a big point.
Kind of the whole reason we kind of go there is with the table.
Well, not the only reason, but it is the main reason that we went. Like, we were really excited. We had a sign made. We had shirts made. We had a table, and then we forgot it. So we had to turn.
We had a bigger table, and we forgot it.
Yeah. We had to spin back around and get it. And then when we got there, we realized that we didn't have any zip ties or tape to tape our sign up or to put our sign up.
Yeah.
So we had to borrow some. They were running low at the firehouse, but Rick Toms, who's a ring announcer for Battle on the Border, was nice enough to give us some. So thank Rick Toms for the fact that we even had a sign put up because somebody forgot zip ties.
Hey, you did too. I didn't have zip ties.
You said, I'm going to drill holes in the table so we can just zip tie it.
Well, what we did worked better.
Were there holes in the table?
There can be. There can be.
It all ended up working out. It really didn't matter. We were gonna if we had to hold that sign there,
it was gonna be up.
It was gonna be up.
Yeah, we didn't pay money for that sign not to be used at all.
Yeah, so that didn't matter. So we got it up though. Again, thanks to Tom's.
Hey, I'm happy we hung it above us at that venue because it was kind of crowded.
It was a little bit of a smaller space than we thought.
It would not have been seen.
Having it behind us actually ended up working out better. So
I'd like to try and do that at every venue if possible.
Behind us?
Yeah.
Yeah, I like that better.
Even if I have to get like pieces of PVC and make our own little freaking tripods to hang them up, or I can use my speaker tripods.
Yeah.
Tape it to it. Yeah. Or something, make it to where it can, because them suckers go 9 feet.
Yeah, those would work perfect.
So,
those would work perfect. Before we get into the actual review of the wrestling, we want to mention that we did get 2 shout-outs during the show, and there were some people who were cheering and clapping for
incredible.
us, which was very nice. They were probably doing it to be nice, but they were doing it
okay.
anyway. And that means something to us, damn it. All right,
Yes.
It may not have meant anything to you. You might have just been blind listening. Ooh. But we appreciated it.
Yes.
Because we're going to be there all the time. So, might as well get the name out there so then when they hear it again, they'll be like, hey.
And if you're watching this and you go to Battle on the Border events, I guarantee you I'll come up to you and talk to you. I talk to just about everybody, so.
Yeah, I'm more of the guy who sits there, and if people come up, I'll talk to you. I enjoy the show. He is running around all over the place.
So it may be a few shows, but I will find just about everybody and talk to everybody, because I'm a social person.
We handed out free pens. We got rid of all of our free pens.
Yes, 56 free pens.
Which was nice. If you didn't get one and you really wanted one, sorry, we'll have them at the next show.
Yes, we will. We'll have more at the next show, that's for damn sure. I didn't expect a bunch of people to take pens, but I'll be handing out and giving them out.
Yeah, at intermission, if people walk by, I was just like, want pens?
I'll say intermission, that's where I'm going to be. I'm pens.
I mean, hey, everyone needs pens.
I'll have a pen to everybody. Even if I've seen them before, I'll give them another one. I don't care. I'll get 100 free pens by the end of the year. I don't care.
I mean, yeah, we got to get, like I said, the name out there. And, like I said, people need pens.
But
I have one.
Stop by the table and see us. I have one right here.
Yeah. And, we'll have to, stop. You can stop by and get them. You don't have to wait for us to come up to you. Because you got a suggestion box here. Yeah. So if you want to fill it out.
And then take the pen with you.
The table. And then take the pen with you.
Yeah,
it's like a bank.
Yeah.
Do banks do that? Do they still give out free pens?
No, I don't think you're supposed to take them with you, but a lot of people do.
I was gonna say I've never.
You go up
actually,
your sign and stick it in your pocket, not even think.
I've never actually taken a pen from a bank, but I know people say that.
My mom does all the time.
No, so there you go. Do that. Steal pens from a bank. It's better than the alternative of stealing money from a bank. You don't.
Yeah. The pen I don't think gets you in prison. Money will.
If it did, that would be a real problem. There'd be a lot of people in prison.
Yeah, there would be a shit ton of people in prison, wouldn't there?
Do you want to take a quick break before we get to the actual show, reviewing the whole show? That way we don't have to stop midway.
Yes.
All right, well, let's do that then. We'll be right back.
All right, let's do it.
And now we actually know who won, so I don't feel as weird.
All right. And we're back.
And we're back. So it's finally time to actually break down the show.
Break down the show.
Which, again, like I said, if you weren't there, you missed a great show. But if you were there and you just want to hear our takes on the matches, then you're going to get them.
And if you didn't get a chance to go, there's another show coming.
Yeah, and we'll talk about that at the end.
Yes.
We started off the show with a match that Denham said was going to be a sneak fan favorite. He's absolutely right. 100% right. I had never heard of, up until this point, of Matt Taylor or Aaron Williams.
Nope.
But I got to tell you, after this, I will not forget the names.
No.
I think it was my favorite match of the night.
It was
my dad's favorite.
A close second.
It was, first it started a little slow, right? Because they were Matt Taylor was trying to convince Aaron Williams, like, just join me.
Yeah.
I think he was trying to ask for a hug. He was doing this a lot. Doing a lot of this. I think he was just like, join me, like, why do we have to fight? Let's be peaceful. And Aaron Williams said,
nope. It's like,
we're fighting. Slapped him. And that was not a good idea because Matt Taylor, got that fury ignited in him. Mm-hmm. And he also had a manager. I apologize, I did not catch her name.
I didn't either.
But she, was there and was a distraction. So unfortunately for Aaron Williams, Matt Taylor did take the victory home. But I do want to say this: the match itself was awesome.
Really good match.
It was very technical, which I won't say that that's not normal for Battle on the Border, but it was different. Like, I felt like I was watching. Like, I don't want to say a step above, because I'm not trying to step up. Every match that was on there on the card was great, but it was just like, I don't know, there was something a little extra in that match that just caught my, because there was like a whole story.
Yeah.
I don't know if these guys have fought in other places before, and that's why they work so well together. If this is their first time, but what I do know is that the chemistry was off the charts, and it just felt like it was something different that we don't see often.
It was a smooth match.
And I really hope we get to see both of them back again. But especially, and this is just me personally, Matt Taylor for sure coming back. He was like I said, his whole character was really cool. Came out, had I think a Bible with him. He came
really
out
loud, very vocal.
Yeah. I mean, it was just it was very entertaining. And Denham, like I said, was 100% right. Sneak match of the night, my favorite match of the night. And that was just the first. That's how you start the show.
Yeah.
Like, good luck,
match.
Good luck to everybody else. You know what I'm saying?
But everybody else still showed up to play though.
There wasn't a single bad match on the card.
No.
But that, you know what I'm telling you?
Every single match was was fantastic.
Usually how it goes in wrestling, it seems like at least, is that the first match is kind of like the starter. So some companies will go out and they'll want to put like a really, really good match, maybe not the best match, but like a really close second.
Yeah.
And then that way people are fired up for the rest of the show and it carries over. And I feel like that's what Denham did here. He put this match in because he's like, people aren't going to think this match is like must see, but it definitely was.
Oh, for sure.
And I hope that gets. I hope someone got a video of it that works for Battle on the Border and they put it out there because this match I think Battle on the Border fans would really like.
Yes.
So that is that.
That was a very good match.
Like I said, it was very, very surprising. Next we have Craven, who is the newest member of the Army of Destiny. At the last show, he came out and he helped King Bomani and Sergeant Ledbetter. He joined the Army of Destiny. He's the newest member, and he actually got an actual match this time. And they came out and they said that it was against an opponent that was worthy opponent, that posed a challenge, a tough challenge. And the guy's name's Craven. I apologize. Did I say that already?
Yeah, you said that.
Yeah,
you said that already.
Yeah, I forgot to mention that. They said that this would be someone that Craven, is a formidable opponent.
Yes.
He goes by the name El Fuego Loco. He claims he's from Mexico, Texas. We actually did do some Mexico, Indiana. Did I say Mexico, Texas?
Yes.
Claims he's from Mexico, Indiana. Well, Mexico, Texas, it's all the same at this point.
Texas, it's all the damn same.
But Mexico, Indiana is where he claims from. We did some research.
Not a place.
There's not a place in Mexico, Indiana. Now, I don't know El Fuego Loco. I'd welcome him on the podcast. I'd like to hear the explanation behind that. Maybe there was a mix-up. Maybe it was from kind of like a UFC or an MMA thing. From Mexico by way of Indiana. I mean, like you live in Indiana now. You're from Mexico. I don't know if there was a confusion there, or if El Fuego Loco's. And here's my suspicion. I think El Fuego Loco is actually loco, and he doesn't know that Mexico, Indiana is not a place.
Probably.
I think he faked getting in.
They probably brought him up to daggone this insane asylum.
I mean, he is loco. It
He would be the crazy one to go against Craven.
I mean, if he signed up for that, you are loco.
Yeah,
he also suspiciously looked a little bit like Jaden Jetnamax.
Yeah,
I didn't say
about the same height.
I didn't
same build.
But point is,
a new wrestler Battle on the Border. I don't know if we'll ever see him again. But
he may be still recovering in the hospital from the match because Craven destroyed him. I mean, it was a little bit more back and forth than I thought, but I think Craven was a little thrown off by the speed
and the size of him.
And the size difference. And that is a big difference. When you're this big and this dude is, not, it does throw you off. So
it's
I think
a freaking big straw.
But yes, Craven did get the victory, and unfortunately, what that means is that the Army of Destiny was full of, the whole night.
Mm-hmm.
They were really excited the rest of the night about it.
They were full of their ass.
And then what happened after that was that Denham got in the ring and he informed the crowd of a very unfortunate news that the match that we got the pleasure of being able to announce to the world, along with Hooks when he came on the show, was a match between Dirtbag Dan and Hooks for the BOTB Hardcore Championship. Unfortunately, the day before, Dirtbag Dan hurt his knee and was not able to make it. This would be the third show, I believe, in a row that he was not able to make. So Denham made a decision and decided there would be that match that night. He would have to find an opponent for Hooks, but it would be for the interim BOTB Hardcore title until Dirtbag Dan could recover and defend it finally.
Yes. For the actual deal.
The actual title. At this point, Army of Destiny came back out.
Yes.
Didn't even let Denham finish.
No.
And we know Sergeant Ledbetter and Denham have a history.
And Sergeant Ledbetter doesn't have a problem going up there and stealing the microphone.
No, not from the promoter, from the owner of the company. That's ballsy.
He does not have a problem. Hey, he's the bad guy. You don't have a problem stealing a microphone.
Well, like I said, he was feeling good. Craven was in the back, I believe, still. Celebrating his win probably.
Yes.
Probably found El Fuego Loco and was throwing him through.
Yeah, probably throwing him through the lockers or something.
Probably.
Or tell him.
So, but Sergeant Ledbetter came out and said, "I think I know someone."
Yeah.
King Bomani.
Yeah, King Bomani.
What?
King Bomani. I don't fucking know. King Bomani.
I will say this: me and you had a little because we found out the night before because we knew Dirtbag Dan was injured before,
but we didn't find out who was taking place
of the show. But we did. But I didn't. I'm not trying to brag or anything here, but I did say I think it'll be King Bomani.
Yeah.
And
which I didn't think so. I figured it would have been Sergeant Ledbetter.
Well, here's what I know about King Bomani. King Bomani's not scared of anybody.
Fair
He'll
enough.
take on any challenge anytime. as long as it makes sense for him. And when you hear that you're the interim, you could become the interim hardcore champion.
That kind of makes sense.
That'll ring a bell, you know. Yeah, you'll be like, oh, absolutely, I'm in. Even if you're not, I believe this was his first hardcore match.
I think so. I don't know for sure.
So, I mean, he was taking a little bit of a gamble, but he felt very confident. Obviously, they made that very.
He took it.
So
he
instead,
took the chance, so.
Unfortunately, instead of Dirtbag Dan against Hooks, we're now getting King Bomani against Hooks, which is coming up later on in the show.
Which is still a good match.
And we'll get all the way out west. We'll get to it. So then we had, after that, we had Congo Kong and Paxton Calloway. If you remember right at the Cleves show, Congo Kong was paid off by David Barnabas Spector to hit Paxton Calloway with the chain and let Madman Fulton get the pin for the victory to retain the title. You know, personally, I don't understand it because you think you'd want to be champion. However, Congo Kong, you know, David Barnabas Spector admitted a little bit later on in the night it was greed. Or maybe it was in a promo. I don't remember. I think it was in a promo before the show. He said greed was what got him, you know, made him, you know, take it. Which, you know, hey, money's money. I get it. So this was a rematch for that. Paxton Calloway getting revenge. It was a very good match. I'm not usually a fan of the big dudes who are, you know, running into each other and doing big moves, but this was very, very entertaining. By the way, so was Craven and El Fego Loco, just on a different level. But Congo Kong and Paxton Calloway, this match was one you were looking forward to the most because you like that.
Yeah, I like giants going at each other. It's like seeing two freaking ginormous mother truckers taking each other down. That's cool.
And I will say this: I will say Congo Kong, who I know from Impact, because I think he still does work for him, but he did work a little bit back when I still watched Impact Wrestling. He was there, and I liked him then. And I'll tell you what, he's good. So is Paxton Calloway. I'm not trying to take anything away from Paxton Calloway. Paxton Calloway is also very good, and if there's anybody who can take on Congo Kong, it's Paxton Calloway.
Oh, for sure. They've got about the same size. I think Paxton Calloway's just a little taller than him, but that's about it.
He is taller, but I mean Congo Kong's so big.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, if anybody can take on Paxton, it'll be Congo. So yeah. I mean, it's a fair, you know, it's fair.
They should have took El Fago Loco, whatever those names was. Fago. Whatever. They should have paired them two together. That'd been a hell of a difference.
That would have been a hell of a difference.
It's
yeah.
like a 5 foot difference.
I mean, Craven's very big too. Craven could take on either Congo Kong or Paxton Calloway.
I don't think he'd have a good chance though.
Oh boy,
some big dudes.
There you go. You said it, not me.
Hey, them were some big dudes, dude.
Going back to the match, Congo Kong and Paxton Calloway. Now, David Barnabas Spector was out there, of course, and so was Bobby Fulton. The fantastic Bobby Fulton was also out there, and he does not like David Barnabas Spector or Congo Kong.
Not at all.
At all. Even going into this match. And what made it even worse is that, unfortunately, Congo Kong made sure, this was very planned by Congo Kong and David Barnabas, that they were going to, it seemed like, to me it was planned at least, that it was going to be a count out. And that Paxton was not going to get the revenge that he wanted, and it kept Congo safe. So you do damage to Paxton, but you damage the ego when you get the count out.
Yep.
Even though he didn't win, Paxton didn't either. He knew that was going to really piss off Paxton, and it was going to piss off Bobby Fulton.
And it was going to piss off the fans.
And it did. Oh, I was very upset. I really wanted to finish, and I was pulling for Paxton, you know. But hey, you know what? I'll give Bobby Fulton this. He was mad, you know.
Oh, hell yeah.
He said, we're not going to continue this show until he comes back out here and we get this rematch.
Yep. And
he stood out there for a good 10, 15 minutes waiting.
Easily.
Finally, it took Denham to say, like, all right, it's not going to happen tonight, all right, but maybe in the future. There's a show coming up in September. Maybe it'll happen then. We'll have to see. They already skipped. They boom, gone.
Yeah,
Congo
was
gone.
Scooted like this.
You know, he knew what he did. Like I said, I get it from Congo Kong's perspective, but I also got to say, like, this has to reach. This has to. I don't. At this point, I don't even care who wins. I just want to see a finale to this match.
I feel like if they did it again, then they'd go the same route.
You think so?
David Barnabas Spector just can't admit that he's a loser.
I want to see Bobby Fulton. I want to see Bobby Fulton against David Barnabas Spector.
That would be fucking awesome.
Denham, if you're watching.
That would be awesome.
If you're watching, that's the real match we all want to see is Bobby Fulton and David. Because I will tell you this right now, Bobby Fulton's got that one handed.
Oh, yeah, he would eat him alive.
He will turn into the Bobby Fulton of old, just like that. Like, well, hold on. It'll be like that. It'll be a little bit better. You know, it'll be, that's what I'm really looking forward to.
That would be awesome.
So, like I said, unfortunately the match did end in a count out, but I have a feeling this will not be the last time we see these two in a match.
In the future, yes.
In the future. I'm sure we'll see it. Then we had the hardcore match. King Bomani and Hooks. Yeah. Now, obviously, this match was what we were looking forward to the most.
This match was awesome.
I mean, this match was, first off, hardcore wrestling is great. Fans love hardcore wrestling. And on top of it, like I said, we got to interview Hooks. He's a really nice guy. I mean, you know, we were rooting for him even before we found out King Bomani was the guy he was going to go up against.
Yes.
So when I found out that it was King Bomani, you know, I pulled a little extra for Hooks because I'm like, you know, he's Sergeant Ledbetter, and these guys, they come out there and they're, you know,
They run the joint.
Yanking the thing away, putting El Fago Loco through on, you know, bad things, ripping the microphone from Denim.
Yeah.
So Hooks needed to, you know, needed to win. I was rooting for him.
Oh,
In the match, I gotta tell you, this was my second favorite match of the night by far. None of my weapons were used, which I'm a little salty about, but Darren's was.
I was.
It has blood on it.
It's a lot dry now, but let's bring it up there to the front.
Yeah, it has blood on it and a signature.
I'll watch where it grabs, so I don't put my hand in it.
You don't want to cut yourself open. But there it is. There's his barbaric weapon that he.
And then its signature, I think. Yeah, it's on the non-lethal side. Hooks' signature right there.
And that is going to go up 100% on the
It
wall
is,
behind
yes.
us.
100% going to go on the wall. I'm still not sure how I'm going to do it with the nails and the screws coming out, because, you know, it's pretty rowdy. I don't know. And I was surprised they grabbed it, but who wouldn't want to grab that if they're a hardcore wrestler?
Yeah, you knew sure. You knew for sure that as soon as Hook seen that, especially since he has experience and King Bomani didn't, you knew for a fact Hooks was going to grab it.
I originally wasn't going to give nobody a preview, and it was going to be a shock when I brought it. But then I was so damn proud of it, I posted it in the brigade.
It is really, truly a great weapon. Hook said it was his favorite. He told us later on.
Yeah.
But let's get to the match. The match was crazy, of course.
The match was awesome.
We had weapons being used everywhere, people getting hit with stuff. It ended up going to the outside because the way that this setup was is that the ring was inside the firehouse, right? And then there was these garage doors that were open, and fans were standing out there. And eventually, the match went out there as you'd expect, honestly.
Yes.
And a skid got thrown at Hooks.
Hooks got thrown underneath the trailer.
His head got thrown into a no parking sign. There was
Yes.
blood all over the concrete, blood in the ring. There was blood on the outside mats. There was blood on the no parking sign.
There was blood on his face.
Yeah, he was
a
busted
friggin-
open. He was
It was
busted
a bloody,
open.
bloody match.
It was very bloody, and thankfully for us, Hooks got
Hooks
the
got the W.
victory.
Yes, Hooks got the W.
So now that means that Hooks is your interim hardcore champion, and he said it afterwards. He did not want to be just the interim champion. He is going to be the next Battle on the Border hardcore
Yes.
champion.
No matter how long it takes, I'm sure.
And we are putting him to. I can't wait to see what happens in the future with him. You know, I don't know. Again, wishing Dirtbag Dana a speedy recovery because I want to see this match as soon as possible because I'm still extremely hyped for this match.
If he doesn't find another excuse to flake.
Whoa! All right. So
I'd be afraid of Hooks. It's okay. It's okay.
you got Hooks back you up. You're good.
It's okay. I'd be afraid of him too. I mean,
So
he's
after
a big
the-
dude.
he is, and I'll tell you what. Like I said, he's a little,
Loco.
you know.
Hey, but that's okay. He's cool though.
I mean, but when you're a hardcore wrestler, you said it. You have to be.
Yeah, you can't have a normal mindset to do hardcore wrestling.
Yeah, you have to.
No way.
Yeah, you know you're gonna walk away from that match different.
Yeah.
Physically, mentally.
Yeah.
It was a great match though.
I bet he went home and took a nice hot bath and jumped in the freaking bed after that one.
I seen a post from him on the next day. Had a bandage over his head. I mean, he was busted open pretty good.
Oh yeah. Well, you can still see it if you zoom in on our picture. There's a bandana. He's still bleeding. There's a bandana.
I mean, well, I don't know what made him bleed exactly because there were so many weapons used. I don't remember what it was.
I think it was when he threw his head first into the trailer.
Oh, see, yeah, that's another thing too. Where our table was set up, we all had to walk. Darren ran.
Oh yeah, I took off since they did.
So me and Dad were stuck behind some people, but by the time I got out there, Hooks was on the ground. He got up and there was blood. I'm like, I don't know what happened.
He took him and he freaking threw his head straight into the trailer.
I'll tell you what, King Bomani. I'll tell you this, King Bomani, you know, for his being his first hardcore match, hell of it.
Oh yeah,
He gave it his all, but I mean,
it was a good try.
that's about all it was.
Yeah, that's how it'll come out to be.
No.
Because
Respect.
Yeah.
Then after this match happened, of course, they had to do an intermission to clean up,
Yes.
you know, get order back in, and then it got started afterwards with Carson Drake and IPA.
I was still talking to people and mingling when that match happened, so I missed the entire one.
Yeah,
unfortunately, because I really wanted to see that match.
Yeah, my dad is a huge fan. He brought a sign for Carson Drake. Loves Carson. You know, it's his favorite. Honestly, to be complete, I'll be honest with you. I give myself this. I try to be as honest as possible because it would be easy for us to come out here as a sponsor and say, "Oh, every match was just, wow, it was great."
Yeah, but no, you don't want to be there.
And I said earlier before that every match was good. This match was good. However, to be completely honest with you, I was not as thrilled with this match as I thought I would be. And I don't know if it was because we just came off of that hardcore match, and so my expectations were so high, or if those first 4 matches were just killer. And then you come off of this intermission, and then you get this Carson Drake and IPA. And don't get me wrong, the match was still good. However, it was just I thought I was going to get a little bit more.
This was for Zero Gravity, though, right?
It was, which by the way.
So did they do a lot of flying? Because I seriously did not.
There was no flying around. Carson Drake did not hit the weight limit. I feel like this is something that Denham's going to have to figure out. He was over the weight limit. He was 220.
Then he should be technically disqualified.
I know. That's what I'm saying. IPA should move on automatically just for that reason alone.
Yeah, because you don't match your weight. Disqualification in the ranking, possibly.
I know.
But you know Carson Drake, he's going to have a whole freaking powwow if he gets disqualified because of the weight.
Well, you got to restore order here.
Oh, yeah.
You got to lay the face down. Carson Drake, he said it on the last podcast. He's a lot to handle.
Oh, yeah.
I feel like Carson Drake just thinks he can do whatever he wants. If you're done, you got to be like, listen.
Is it Golden State, whatever?
God or something.
I call him Golden State Boy.
Whoa.
Boy.
Either way, Carson Drake did get the victory here, which is unfortunate because IPA looked very good. So did Carson Drake.
And IPA made weight.
He did. And Carson Drake was making fun of the fact that IPAs. Listen, maybe I was a little bit towards Carson Drake in this match because I'm not a big IPA fan. Not the wrestler. Like the wrestler. IPA beers. Not my favorite. IPA beers, generally speaking, not my favorite. I have a couple that I like. But generally speaking, not a huge fan of IPA. Carson Drake shared the same sentiment as me. He said it tasted like carpet, and he usually likes the taste of carpet. Carson Drake also insulted firefighters.
Yes.
One of his lines was, he said, "Let me do my imitation of a firefighter." And he hit the alarm because he comes out with that bullhorn. He hit the siren and he said, "This is me not spending any time with my family," which is just rude, Carson. I think it was that. It was something to the effect of that. The point is, you're making fun of firefighters at a firehouse, Carson. You just got to learn some manners. You can make fun of them in the back or but in the ring with the bullhorn. It's disrespectful. It's disrespectful.
I would have laughed. I can't help it.
It's disrespectful is what it is. You know what? Like I said, he'll get his.
They should have brought a firefighter in wrestling.
Yeah, well, IPA tried. He gave it a good shot, but Carson Drake did get the victory. Which,
could be a disqualification.
We'll see how that gets handled in the future. He's going to have to, maybe you let him slide this once, but he's going to have to slimmer down. Because he's going to be coming up.
Carson, you're fat.
Again, you said it, not me. I want to make that clear. All right. Next was Jake Shepard against another Double D podcast alumni, if you will, Justin Xavier.
Yes.
Justin Xavier, of course, if you guys know this, when we interviewed him at the time, he was tag team champions with Amos. And then in the last episode we did with Denham, you guys found out that Amos no longer works with BOTB, so he was currently tag team list.
Single.
He didn't come out with the title, but he said that Denham said that we would eventually figure it out. Yeah. So we'll see what happens with that. But what was exciting is that it was Jake Shepard against Justin Xavier. The last time that I seen Jake Shepard wrestle was against Amos, and of course he was body suplexed or powerbombed by Amos, which was very exciting. We asked Justin if he would do that. He said we'd see. We did not get to see that. However, I'll give you this: Justin Xavier put up a hell of a fight against.
For the size difference,
Justin Shepard.
Yes.
Jake Shepard. Yeah. Jake Shepard. I give you this. I know people say a lot about his weight. You hear it in the crowd. You see people comment. But I'll tell you what, I would not want to get in the ring with him. And I'll tell you this: he's very good. And Jaden Jett was out there with him. And that probably played a part in the match. Justin Xavier had to look for two different people. He had to keep his eyes open, eyes in the back of his head. Unfortunately for us, because we are alumni, he is an alumni of the show.
Yes.
Jake Shepard did get the victory. This makes 3 times in a row now, 3 matches in a row, where the tag team champions have lost a match they were involved in when it comes to the tag team Jake Shepard part of with Jaden Jett Are they called the marquee players? I believe so. If I'm wrong about that, I apologize. I apologize if I'm wrong about that. But Jake Shepard and Jaden Jett seem like they are on their way to tag team. They seem like they deserve a tag team title shot. But unfortunately, Justin
has to find a partner.
He's got to find a partner first. So once he figures that out, though, I feel like Jake Shepard will, is next in line.
Oh, I guarantee it.
Then we had Sergeant Ledbetter and Rob Conway. Now this match was also a throwback to the Cleves show. They had that golden ticket battle royal. While the referee was not looking, Sergeant Ledbetter got eliminated, but because the referee didn't see it, because he was taking care of the tag teams. Tag teams were brawling over there in the corner. Yes. He was taking care of that. So unfortunately, the referee didn't see that. Sergeant Ledbetter got in the ring and eliminated Rob Conway when the referee was looking. So this is a rematch of that. I believe, and quote me if I'm wrong on this. If I'm wrong, I again apologize. But on the last show, did Denham say this was for the battle? This was for the golden ticket, or was this just a rematch?
I don't remember. I think it was just a rematch.
We'll have to see.
We'll have to get a hold of Denham and find out.
We will have to see. Again, I apologize. There was so much going on during the show that it's a miracle that I remembered anything that happened in general, because there were so many things going on. Talking. Yeah. There was a lot of action going on. Trying to cool down. It was a hot day.
Oh yeah, it was toasty.
So and there was beer involved, which doesn't usually help memory.
Hey, beer is good.
Beer is good.
Good for the mind and it's good for the soul.
Yeah, that's right. Now this matchup was very good again. I'm a big fan of Sergeant Ledbetter personally, but Rob Conway is also very good. I don't remember him as much in WWE as I probably should have, to be honest with you. I think I was a little too young then. However, he was very good. I get now why he's a BOTB Hall of Famer. Yeah. He did get the victory against Sergeant Ledbetter. However, afterwards, the Army of Destiny, King Bomani, because he was out there, attacked Rob Conway. Yes. Didn't even let him get to enjoy his. It wasn't by disqualification. I think it was by disqualification. I think about it. Didn't King Bomani get involved, and that's why it was by disqualification. It was by disqualification. I remember now. I apologize. I think King Bomani got involved, and that's what made it. It was by disqualification. But I think that's actually how it happened. If I'm wrong again, I apologize. But I think that's how it happened. It was by disqualification because King Bomani got involved, and that caused Justin Xavier to come out and save Rob Conway. Yes. Which was exciting. He had a chair and everything. He was not afraid. He got him out of there. He also made the announcement. He said, the board of directors of Battle on the Border have given me the opportunity to pick my tag team partner. He was still champion. They're still going to be tag team champions. And he chose Rob Conway. Rob Conway agreed. Yes. So now your new Battle on the Border tag team champions are Rob Conway and Justin Jay. Are you struggling over there?
I'm fixing the chair.
Well, can you fix it or
I got it.
Are you paying attention to what's going on?
Yes.
It's raining outside too. Do you hear that?
Yes.
It's hot in
Yes.
here, by the way. Yes. Sergeant Ledbetter and Rob Conway. Rob Conway did get the victory by disqualification. Justin Xavier came out. I hope I'm talking loud enough so you can hear us over the rain.
He came out!
Because I don't know how loud the rain's going to be. It's going to ruin our whole video? Is that what it's going to do?
No.
How loud is it without?
Not too bad.
It's pretty loud.
It's not too bad.
This is going to ruin our whole video. If you can't hear us, it's because of the rain. If I'm audio listeners, I'm sorry I'm yelling at you, but the rain is really loud. Should we stop? Should we take a break until the rain stops, or what are we doing?
Hold on, let me look.
What are we looking at? The weather?
Yeah.
I have my phone open.
You don't need that.
Oh, he's going outside. He's looking at. Can you see that?
Well, I'd venture to say it ain't gonna be stopping anytime soon.
Oh no. Well, all right. Well,
we ain't golfing today.
No, we're not golfing. Well, we'll just talk really loud. I apologize. We got to get better sound.
Damn, it sucks we can't golf today. Anyways,
we gotta get better sound. What are we doing on time? Should we take another break?
Oh yeah.
We're gonna take another break before we get into the main event and the after show.
Party.
After party. Sorry.
We're back.
For the final time, hopefully. The rain kind of slowed down a little bit. I'll try to talk a little bit louder than normal.
Yep.
Well, we have one more match to go here. We have Brian Pillman.
I just got a message.
Yes, you did. It's Brian Pillman and Madman Fulton.
Yes.
Main event for the title. Madman Fulton, of course, like we talked about earlier, retained the title. The last time he defended it through some underhanded ways, but he retained it nonetheless.
He got it back.
He did. And then Brian Pillman beat Carson Drake at the last show to become the #1 contender for the world title. So Brian Pillman is now facing, of course, Matt Fulton.
Oh, yeah.
Now, this match was, of course, a match everyone in the whole building was looking for. He's a hometown hero. Battle on the Border was where he got his start, I think. I mean, it was where one of the places he wrestled in his start. Yeah. Now, of course, he's a big star. Matt Fulton, who's a champion, been undefeated since he's become champion. I believe, maybe even possibly undefeated in Battle on the Border. So this was a big match for him as well. And going against Brian Pillman, who's one of the biggest stars, you know, that's a big order.
And one of the lady getters.
Brian Pillman?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, ladies love Brian Pillman, but let's be honest, there's a lot of guys out there who like Brian Pillman too. Love Brian Pillman.
Yeah.
It's Power of the Mullet. I have one, and I gotta tell you that I don't have as good of one as Brian Pillman does.
Mullet power!
It was the mullet power. He has the power of the mullet. But what I will say is that this match, of course, was great. I mean, I don't think that you have to say that this match was probably overall most fans' favorite.
Yeah, it was the best match of the night.
It was I think if I'm looking at it like from a standpoint of just what was the overall best match of the night, this one was not my personal favorite match of the night, but it was the best match of the night, probably.
Yes.
You know, David Barnabas Spector's out there, of course. He's always a force to be reckoned with. The rain's picking back up. Mother Nature just doesn't want us to do this podcast. She doesn't want us golfing today. She doesn't want us doing this either. So I apologize if the audio is terrible.
I'm going to take Mother Nature out.
Yeah, you really should. Just got to start swinging that thing around.
Nope, I'm not able to think I'm a psychopath.
Yeah, this match was great. I was worried that maybe David Barnabas Spector was going to get so involved to the point where maybe, you know, bring out Congo Kong or Paxton Calloway or something throughout the match. And of course,
that's what happened.
Exactly what happened. He brought out Congo Kong to try to get involved.
Yep.
But Paxton Calloway said, "Oh no."
Hell no.
He said, "Yo, I thought you left. That's what I heard. I heard you were gone. I heard you booked it. Well, turns out you're not.
So let's do this."
And Paxton Calloway was there, and he came out and he made sure that he did not get involved and ruin another match like he did the last time.
Yep.
And so he took care of Congo Kong, and because of that, Brian Pillman won the match and is now your new Battle on the Border World Heavyweight Champion.
And Spector was traumatized.
He was. After the show, he looked very distraught. And I would feel bad for him, but he's David Barnabas Spector. So I was like, I seen him, and he was very upset. He was like, "Oh my God, I don't know what
actually
happened."
Put a smile on my face.
Yeah, and it kind of, like, the human in me was like, "Oh," and then I remembered, like in 0.5 seconds, like, "Oh, that's Dave." You know, no, he's David Barnabas Spector. He just kind of deserves it. He brings it on himself. You come around, you know, you have the world champion already on your side. Yep. And then you get Congo Kong. That's unfair. Yep. And try to get him involved. But you see, you piss off Paxton Calloway, you piss off Bobby Fulton, bad things happen.
Yes.
And you pay the consequences. Now the consequence is you no longer have the world champion on your side. You lost the title. That's what happens.
You lost it.
You know, if anything, this is a learning experience for David Barnabas.
He ain't gonna learn from this.
He won't.
He ain't gonna learn from this.
You're right. He won't. He will not. He will, in fact, probably do even dumber things because of it. Because now he's desperate. Now he's not a champion.
No, he needs to get that championship back.
I have a very, very vivid sense of deja vu right now. You know how when you dream things and then it happens in real life and you have that feeling like I've been here before?
Oh yeah.
I just had that when you were talking. I've like everything I've seen, I've had a dream. That's why alternate realities exist. And in an alternate reality, in a different timeline, maybe Paxton Calloway or maybe Manny Fulton is still champion, but not in this one.
Not today.
Maybe in an alternate timeline, maybe Congo Kong wasn't such a and decided to actually fight Paxton Calloway and he won. But not in this one. Not in this one. David Barnabas Spector took technically 2 L's really when you think about it in the night. I mean, a draw is technically, it's not a win, but it's not a loss. So
I consider that a loss.
Yeah, and you know, it wasn't Paxton Calloway's fault, it wasn't Bobby Fulton's fault. So only one person to blame.
One person to blame. 2 people to blame.
2 people to blame technically.
That would be.
I think one is really the masterminds of this show there. But either way, the fans loved this match. They were involved in every match. They loved absolutely every match. They were vocal. There wasn't a lot of people. I mean, it was more than I thought. Because I remember we were talking on the way up there, and I was like, I don't know. Moorshill's a small town. More people than I thought. Less people than I'm sure they were hoping for. However, man, was it a good show. And the crowd was into it. They seemed to like every match. They liked us. They gave us a couple claps. Someone yelled, "Double D," which I think is just fun to yell that.
Well, I mean, it is.
How often do you get to yell that in a public place?
Not very often.
And not get in trouble for it? Usually if you yell that, people look at you weird. Well, when you have a big sign that says "Double D" on it, you're going to yell it. You have the right to.
So I mean, you got the Double D podcast.
You know, don't feel awkward. I mean,
Double D podcast now.
But it was a great show. And I am very excited for the next one, which, by the way, I will go ahead and say is September 17th in Cleves, the same place. I don't remember. I always forget the name of the place. I have to get that down. It's in Cleves. It was where the last show was.
Ohio.
Yeah, very excited. Of course, you know Brian Pillman's going to be there. That is his turf. That's his hometown. He's going to be there. He will probably be defending the title. I don't know yet. Obviously, I have no idea. If he doesn't defend the title, still, he's going to be there. That's a selling point right away. So make sure you follow Battle on the Border Pro Wrestling on Facebook so you can find the ticket links and buy them as fast as you can and make this show the most people that's ever been in Battle.
Buy them soon because they will sell out fast.
Yeah, you know,
the front tickets anyways.
Yeah,
sell out fast.
Yeah, the front. If you want to get front row tickets, you got to get them fast. You got to get them because otherwise they will go.
Denim said last time that they went to this event center, there was like 300 people there.
There was 300 people at the last. Well, let's try to get double that.
Let's go 6.
Let's go for 6. Let's make this a big time deal. You know, and I want to meet all 600 of you.
So tell all your friends, tell your neighbors, tell your neighbor's cat, tell your neighbor's dog, tell your friends at work.
I don't think
tell your enemies at work.
I don't think animals are allowed, but they can.
Hey, if they got money and bought a ticket.
That's true. Yeah, you're right. I mean, I'm excited for it. We're obviously going to be there, of course. We'll have a table, of course. We'll have pens, of course. Who knows what we may have more. We may have more than that at that point. Who knows what's going to happen? September 17th. It's not that far away. It's not as far away as you think.
Nobody knows.
It's not as far away as you think. Now, as of this moment, nothing is solidified. But I will go ahead and state on record that I really want to see Pax Calloway and Congo Kong. And again, I'm not a guy who usually likes to see big dudes who fight, because it's just not my style. I like the smaller guys to do the high fly stuff. But I want to see Congo Kong get the.
You know what I want to see?
I don't care what you
Double Podcast T-shirts.
Okay, well that too. Yeah, that too. But
That'd be nice.
If you watched the last episode, then you know that Denim invited us to an after party.
Oh boy.
Which of course, we're gonna take up that offer. We're not gonna say no to that offer. So after we got done with our fanboying phase, where we were getting pictures with people, we decided that we were gonna go to the after party. And I gotta tell you, I spent the whole next day, that following Sunday after the show, laying around my apartment because I was recovering. I will say this, I will say it on record, I don't know, I'm sure Denim is okay with me saying this. He's partying. Dude can party, he can probably outdrink me.
Easily.
But I was also, it was a big night for us. It was a little bit different. He does this, every other month. He's used to I'm not used to it yet, but I'm gonna have to get used to it here. Because if we get invited again, we're going, of course, but we're gonna have to last a little. Well, it was like a 2-3 hour party.
We went until they closed.
We did.
We stayed till the bar.
And we would have stayed longer.
Oh hell yeah!
Had the bar closed. I mean, we sat there. We talked about wrestling. We talked about everything under the sun. And I just want to thank Denim again for inviting us. And if again, we're more than happy to go to any of them that you invite us to. I hope that we were. Again, Denim's been nothing but nice to us. We're loyal to Battle on the Border. Always will be. I don't think we're ever going to have to face a time where we think, oh, we have to leave Battle on the Border for any reason. I've never seen anything even close to even wanting to leave. Nope. So I'm 100% confident in saying that Double D Podcast and Battle on the Border will always be interlinked in some way.
Yes.
And again,
and we'll grow together.
That's the goal, man. That is the goal. So I mean, is there anything else you wanted to say that we didn't mention? Or that we want to make sure we mentioned before?
Grab your ink pens. I have a bunch of ink pens.
Yeah, September 17th.
Order them like next week or this week.
We're gonna have pens there, maybe possibly merch. We're gonna do a lot of things. We're very excited. September 17th. I don't know what's in the immediate future for us as far as like what to look forward to for the next episode. But I will say this: make sure you stay tuned because you do learn things in here.
Oops.
Unless he breaks the equipment, and then you won't have an audio version of this.
Hey,
which doesn't matter to most people.
I will say we are in the works of potentially having merch at some point.
Which I'm excited about.
But it'll be a limited quantity, obviously, first.
Yeah, I mean, listen.
So it'll be first come, first served situation.
But we're trying our best out there, And again, I appreciate. I'm gonna just again state very, very appreciative of Denim.
Yes.
And the Battle on the Border crew. They've been extremely nice to us. The board of directors for allowing us to work a part of the group. It was a very cool experience for us. We're not used to being a part of something like that, so when we get a shout out twice and there's people who clap, and there's people who yell double D, which again, I don't know if, that person probably has never seen our episode. Maybe they do, I don't know. But what
It's
I do
pretty
know
cool.
is
It's pretty cool.
And it felt cool for us to be a part of something. So I hope that, I was just really excited. I was really happy. It's kind of like me living out a dream in some way.
Fair enough.
For me, I've always wanted to work for a wrestling company in some capacity. I'm technically doing it now.
Yeah, we break down matches and we're there.
We gotta get a little bit more technical with our breakdowns, but I don't also know the inside. I just looked at it from a fan's perspective. Like, this match was fucking killer.
Well, we gotta look at it from a fan perspective. The way it's cooked.
Anyway, thank you for watching. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Share with your friends, your family, your dogs, your cats, the neighbor's dog and cats. Apparently, make sure you share it with everybody, your coworkers, your enemies at work, everybody. And then hit the notification bell. Double D Podcast and Crew. If you're watching this on YouTube, of course, you know that already. Make sure you hit the subscribe button and the bell so you get notifications. You can also follow me on Twitter at DJDub00. You can follow us on Instagram at _D_podcast and on TikTok at the Double D Podcast 1. I will also state I am very, very terrible at uploading stuff, so I'm just now uploading things that happened like a month ago because I just get lost and I forget to upload. I will slowly start uploading some of the old clips and things, the funniest moments from clips that we've done, our videos in the past, and eventually I'll catch up and we'll be back to normal. But make sure you follow; it's worth a follow. I plan on trying to be way more social. We also have a Facebook page.
Yes, we
Double
do.
D Podcast and Crew.
Double D Podcast and Crew Facebook page. And if you just love me, add my snap, Darren 1134567889. We also have an email, doubledpodcast123@gmail.com. You can email us your questions, complaints, or just chat with us. And you can do that on every other social media platform that we have also. And don't forget my DJing service. We offer a wide variety of lighting and nice speakers and great sound with me. So
I mean, that's
give us a call at 812-212-1675, which is also affiliated with WD Podcast.
There you go.
So,
anyway, so I guess that's it for now. We'll make sure to see you guys very soon. We'll keep you updated on what's going on September 17th. We'll have other episodes coming out very soon. We also have some things that we're working on way in the future, some things that we talked about today that we're thinking about doing. We'll announce that. It's way down the line near the end of the year, but we're going to announce something about that because I really think the idea we came up with is great. We got some big ideas coming. I hope it all pans out. We're going to try to get the sound situation better so this fucking rain doesn't do this again. I'm also going to be starting a YouTube channel soon. I say that every week. Who knows when it's going to actually
have you even started making a page yet?
No. Well, I mean, I have a page. I just have to upload to it, but I have to still settle into my apartment yet. And I have to buy things because I want to make sure it's soundproofed. And I'm going to try to get like a production, like a green screen. I want it to be kind of fancy. I want to try, and then I hope that'll help us here too. Like if more, the fancier we are here, the more I learn, because you know a lot more about wiring and sound and stuff than I do. So if I learn it, then we can bring our experiences together.
Oh yeah, and we can make it awesome. Even though we got this awesome microphone.
It's a great microphone. It's a great microphone, and I hope the audio was good. Like I said, I apologize if the rain.
We plan on somehow linking this microphone to my phone to this, but we're working on that too. Not that good with wires, so I can't figure that out
Listen,
yet.
I just moved into an apartment. I work 9.5 hours a day. He has a kid and works 9.5 hours a day.
Yeah.
I mean, we're busy people. We try, and we like golfing. We do a lot of things. This is one of the things we do, but I mean, it's one of the list of many. So we're trying to learn and grow as much as possible. Anyway, thank you for watching. Bye.